J.K. Rowling, the author of the famous Harry Potter series, including all of the other offshoot Fantastic Beasts and the Dumbledore movies, to include a few others. So why is J.K. Rowling getting so much hate, so much backlash for just saying a few things? So let's kind of start from the beginning. So back in 2020, back in the pandemic time, we had J.K. Rowling probably thinking none of it, right? She was reading an article in which they were talking about people who menstruate. And it's, of course, when you read an article, you're thinking, wow, this is incredibly vague. Maybe I should see and try to get more clarification in the issue. So J.K. Rowling, being an author, one that is keen with observations, because that's what made her an author in the first place, she mentioned, okay, women or woman is not mentioned in this article. So she said, oh, well, shouldn't there be this word included in this article? And little did she know how much backlash she would get just from this seemingly innocent observation, right? It just seems so benign. Something not really that important, right? Maybe some people would find it witty. But no. At this time, people were kind of going nuts already with the pandemic and having issues with being on lockdown. And what was going on was the left, this is around the time when the left was really getting weaponized, and they totally went against her. Not only that, they had those that were part of her own cast, Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and a few others in the cast. They totally went against her, and you would not believe it. Right? You're thinking, wow, these actors, the only reason why they were even famous in the first place was because of her literature and what she had put forth into the cinematic platform. So this is pretty awful, right? What kind of betrayal can you really think? But, of course, in Hollywood and in society and at work with an HR department, you feel that you have to go along with the times. Whatever is going to not offend anybody, you got to stick with that, right? Because it's a matter of self-preservation. Because there's a lot of fear involved with that. Who knows if Daniel Radcliffe really believed what these leftists were thinking? Or maybe he does. I really don't know what is going on in his own mind. But it is a shame. But let's see some of the reaction of a few other left-leaning people. And just to clarify, I'm more middle-right in my views, but let's see kind of what the hubbub is about. Let's see some of these comments.
J.K. Rowling has done it again. She literally cannot help herself but be transphobic. This week, she directed a series of tweets against transgender women. She called transgender women men, said that transgender women SA people, and that transgender women represent a safety threat to cisgender women inside of restrooms. I literally can't even share screenshots of what she said because it would likely get me in trouble here. She advocated for banning us from bathrooms and also said that women who date us are not real lesbians. She did all of this while defending the anti-LGBT group LGB Alliance. This organization believes that transgender people should be kicked out of the LGBT community. LGB Alliance's charity status is currently under review, and they could lose it for being classified as a hate group.
Shit. And people like J.K. Rowling need to fucking stop, because my people are dying because of her. She is killing us. Oh, but there's one more good thing about this book. J.K. Rowling fucking dies. Yeah, Gretchen had the nerve to kill off the queen of the TERFs, and it is glorious. I only wish that scene could have been even more brutal.
Okay, you can see this is really over the top. Why are a lot of these people so adamant and actually okay with promoting violence against this author? This author is pretty much just being innocent enough and doubling down really just about what biological sex is. She is not against trans people. She is not against those on the left per se. She's saying that as a lesbian herself that she feels like she's getting hate and she's being totally alienated as a self-described woman. So as remember way back years ago, the Woman of the Year was won by a man. And then, of course, with all the sports, you have men playing in women's sports and knocking women out or beating them at a obvious, clear disadvantage, a handicap, as you would say in sports. This is a handicap as well. It's a handicap of using language against people. And just like J.K. Rowling, she's been cornered, and she understands the importance of language, of words, and she's seeing it being used against her. So this is the left eating itself, and I understand you want to support people's rights and the civil rights, and it's really not about that. It's really just a matter of biology. And biology, if you are willing to go against science, and these are the same people that during COVID and this and that are saying, hey, believe the science, stand by the science. And why is the science just completely being disregarded when it's not convenient for their narrative at that time? And sure, people can say that on the right or the center, whatever. It doesn't really matter what the issue is. If science is totally being disregarded, in this case biology, you have chromosomes, you have hormones, you have muscular development dependent on your sex, and whether or not you say sex and gender are the same thing, it's a matter of whatever you're doing in California. But the thing is biology and a doctor, if they're going to treat you, they're going to take certain things into account, including your biological sex. So, do you really think J.K. Rowling is getting a fair shake here? Because it's been years. She's been dealing with this for a while and a lot of the fallout. And, she has been getting her Harry Potter stuff out there, even through HBO Max and other platforms, but there has been a lot of pushback, and I'm sure she's losing some sleep over it, but hopefully not. So what do you think? Be sure to comment. Also, like and subscribe for more content related to the subject and other subjects.